Stop. Look at your phone. Look at the silence on the screen. Look at the anxiety crawling up your chest because no one replied to your message. Because you sent your business plan to 5 people and got 3 seen receipts and 2 polite deflections. Because you asked your family for support and they asked you when you're getting a real job. You believe that success requires a team. You believe that humans are social animals who need support systems and networking and mentors and cheerleaders. You believe that if you just find the right people, the right connections, the right backing, everything will click into place. You have been lied to, and that lie is the reason you are still waiting, still hoping, still begging for scraps from people who will never believe in you. Here is the truth that Machiavelli whispered to princes 5 centuries ago. The truth that every self-made billionaire knows, but will never tell you. Support is not a gift, it is a chain. Every hand that reaches down to help you is also a hand that can pull you back down when you rise too high. Every person who invests in you owns a piece of your throne. Every mentor who guides you expects you to follow their path, not forge your own. You are not failing because you lack support. You are failing because you are still looking for it, because you are burning your most valuable resource, your mental energy scanning the horizon for a savior who will never arrive. You are the sheep standing at the edge of the flock, bleating into the darkness, waiting for the shepherd to come protect you. But the shepherd is not coming. The wolves are, and they can smell your dependence from a mile away. Machiavelli wrote that a wise prince should rely on what is in his own control, not on what is in the control of others. Every moment you spend hoping someone will open a door for you is a moment you could spend kicking down the door yourself. Every text you send asking for advice is energy you could pour into execution. You have been trained to be a slave to validation, a slave to consensus, a slave to the comfort of having someone else tell you what to do. The most dangerous men in history built empires with 0 support. They walked into the void alone. They worked in the dark. They carried their own stones. And when they finally emerged into the light, the world called them geniuses, visionaries, leaders. But they did not become those things by asking permission. They became those things by accepting a brutal truth. No one is coming, and that is exactly what makes you free. Law 1. Support equals debt. Every favor is a chain. When someone helps you, they are not giving you power. They are buying equity in your soul. You think you are building relationships. You are actually building liabilities. Machiavelli observed that men judge more by the eye than by the hand. What he meant is this: people do not see your potential, they see your current state. And if your current state requires their help, they label you as weak, as needy, as someone beneath them. When you accept support, you enter a contract you never read. The person who helps you now expects loyalty, expects gratitude, expects you to remember them when you succeed. And if you do not, they will tell everyone you are ungrateful, a user, a snake. They will weaponize their generosity against you. But if you do remember them, you must share the spoils. You must give them access. You must let them ride your rocket, even though they never helped you build it. They just handed you a screwdriver when you were already halfway to orbit. Think about this coldly. Mathematically, if you take money from an investor, you no longer own your company. If you take advice from a mentor, you no longer own your vision. If you take emotional support from a partner who does not understand your mission, you must constantly justify yourself to someone who will never understand. Every input is a dilution of your sovereignty. The man who builds alone keeps 100% of the empire. The man who builds with help must split the kingdom, and when the kingdom is split, the knives come out. Alliances dissolve, partnerships crumble, friends become rivals. Machiavelli knew this. He warned princes to avoid auxiliary forces, armies borrowed from more powerful leaders, because if they lose, you are defeated, and if they win, you become their prisoner. You think you are getting help, you are actually getting owned. Zero support means zero debt. It means no one can call in a favor when you are on the edge of victory. It means you owe nothing to anyone. Your success is yours. Your failure is yours. You are the sovereign of your own empire, and sovereignty has no price. It is priceless. Law 2. Isolation is the forge. Comfort is the cage. You have been taught that human beings need community, need connection, need support groups and accountability partners and friends who believe in you. This is herd programming. It is designed to keep you weak, to keep you dependent, to keep you controllable. The truth is this: greatness is forged in isolation. Mediocrity is bred in crowds. When you are surrounded by people, you perform. You put on the mask. You say what they want to hear. You edit your vision to make it digestible. You soften your edges so you do not make them uncomfortable. You are not being authentic. You are being a chameleon, and a chameleon cannot be a lion. Machiavelli understood that the prince must be both the lion and the fox. The lion is strong and terrifying, the fox is cunning and invisible, but to become both, you must first be alone. You must spend time in the wilderness where no one is watching, where no one is judging, where you can experiment, fail, adapt, and evolve without the weight of other people's expectations crushing you. When you have zero support, you are forced to become competent. You cannot outsource your weaknesses. You cannot call a friend to fix your website. You cannot ask your dad for money. You cannot rely on your partner to keep you motivated. You must learn everything yourself. You must become the strategist, the executor, the marketer, the accountant, the therapist. You become a polymath, a weapon of mass competence. The man with support has specialists. The man without support is the specialist. And when you know every inch of your empire because you built it with your own hands, you are irreplaceable. You are untouchable. No one can take your throne because no one else knows how the machine works. You are the machine. Isolation is painful. Yes. It is lonely. Yes. But pain is the signal that you are breaking through the membrane of average. Loneliness is the signal that you have left the herd. And once you are on the other side, once you have survived the wilderness alone, you will never fear it again. You will walk into any room and know that even if they all leave, you will be fine, because you have been alone before, and you thrived. Law 3. Silence is the weapon. Words leak power. You talk too much. You post too much. You explain too much. Every time you announce your plan, you dissipate the energy required to execute it. Every time you tell a friend about your new business idea, your brain releases dopamine. It gives you the chemical satisfaction of achievement without the actual work. You tricked yourself. You gave yourself the reward before you earned it, so you stopped moving. Machiavelli advised princes to be great fainters and dissemblers. to conceal intentions, to reveal nothing until the knife is already moving. When you broadcast your moves, you alert your enemies. You give them time to prepare defenses. You give them ammunition to doubt you, to sabotage you, to say, "I told you it wouldn't work." The ghost operates in silence. He does not announce his training montage. He does not post progress photos. He does not send life updates. He disappears into the void. And when he re-emerges, he is unrecognizable. The world looks at him and asks, "Where did you come from?" He smiles. He says nothing, because the mystery is the aura. The mystery is the power. When you are silent, people project their fantasies onto you. They wonder what you are doing. They wonder if you are winning. They wonder if they made a mistake by not supporting you. Their imagination works for you. It builds your myth. But if you are constantly updating them, constantly seeking validation, you kill the mystery. You become a documentary they can tune out. Be the enigma. Be the rumor. Be the whisper in the dark. Silence also protects you from the opinions of the unqualified. When you share your vision with small-minded people, they will shrink it. They will poke holes. They will tell you it is unrealistic. Not because your vision is flawed, but because their imagination cannot contain it. They are prisoners in a cell, and you are describing the ocean. They cannot see what you see, so they call you crazy. Stop asking for feedback from people who have never built what you are building. Stop seeking approval from people who have never taken the risk you are taking. Their doubt is irrelevant. Their fear is not yours. Operate in silence until the results speak louder than any argument, until the empire is so undeniable that even the blind can see it. Law 4. Your enemies are your fuel. Use pain as propulsion. You look at the people who ignored you and you feel sadness. You feel rejected. You feel abandoned. This is weakness. You must reprogram your emotional responses. You must take the raw material of pain and transmute it into rage, into defiance, into obsession. Machiavelli observed that wise men say, and not without reason, that whoever wishes to foresee the future must consult the past. Look at your past. Look at every person who doubted you, who ghosted you, who laughed at your ambition. Do not forgive them. Do not forget them. Burn their faces into your memory. Write their names on a list, not because you will seek revenge, but because you will use them as fuel. Michael Jordan, the most dominant athlete in history, was famous for inventing slights. He would convince himself that an opposing player disrespected him just so he could summon the fury to destroy them. He turned psychological fiction into physical dominance. You must do the same. Take every rejection and place it in the furnace. Let it burn. Let it power the engine. When you are alone at midnight and you want to quit, motivation will not save you. Motivation is a weak drug. It comes and goes. But spite is eternal. Pride is eternal. When you tell yourself, "If I quit now, they were right about me," you will keep moving. When you tell yourself, "I will make them regret ignoring me, not because I need their approval, but because I need to prove to myself that I was right," you become unstoppable. This is not about revenge in the petty sense. It is about self-validation. It is about proving to yourself that you were not crazy, that your vision was real, that your ambition was justified. The world will call this toxic. The world will say, "You should let go, forgive, move on." The world is weak. The world is average. The world wants you to be average too. Do not listen. Use the darkness. Channel it. Become the villain in their story so you can be the hero in your own. Law 5. Build in the void. Deploy in the light. You have been conditioned to believe that you need to network, to go to events, to hand out business cards, to pitch investors, to seek partnerships. This is the strategy of the beggar. The beggar walks into a room of powerful people and asks for attention, asks for favors, asks to be seen, and powerful people despise beggars. Machiavelli taught that the prince must make himself necessary. You do not make yourself necessary by begging. You make yourself necessary by becoming so competent, so valuable, so rare that people seek you out. You reverse the dynamic. You become the prize. But to become the prize, you must first build in the void. You must disappear from the social circus. Stop going to networking events. Stop updating LinkedIn. Stop trying to be visible. Be invisible. Use the time everyone else spends performing for strangers to build your craft, to sharpen your skills, to create undeniable value. When you have zero support, you have zero social obligations. You do not have to attend birthday parties. You do not have to respond to texts. You do not have to maintain the illusion of being friendly. You can pour 100% of your energy into the work. This is asymmetrical warfare. The supported man has a calendar full of meetings. You have a calendar full of execution. He moves slowly. You move like lightning. And when you finally emerge from the void, when you step into the light with a finished product, a proven system, a track record of results, the dynamic shifts. Now, you are not asking. You are offering. Now, you are not the student. You are the master. The same people who ignored your texts will reply instantly. The same investors who said no will ask for a second meeting. The same family members who questioned your sanity will say, "I always knew you had it in you." You will smile. You will nod. But you will never forget who was there when the room was empty. Which was no one, just you. And that memory will keep you sharp. It will remind you that you built this alone, and that means you can rebuild it alone if it ever falls. You are not dependent on luck. You are not dependent on trends. You are not dependent on other people. You are the constant. You are the foundation. Law 6. Accept the death. Become the void. Here is the part they do not tell you. To succeed with zero support, you must hold a funeral. You must grieve. You must accept that the life you imagined, the life where you have a cheering section and a team and a support system, is not the life you are going to live. That version of your story does not exist. You must close the book on that fantasy and write a new one. This is painful. It feels like a betrayal. It feels like loss. Because it is loss. You are losing the comfort of dependency. You are losing the illusion that someone else will save you. You are losing the fantasy that if you just find the right person, the right opportunity, the right moment, everything will align. It will not align. You must create the alignment yourself. Machiavelli wrote that fortune is a woman, and it is necessary, if you wish to master her, to conquer her by force. Fortune will not smile on you because you deserve it. Fortune does not care about fairness. You must seize fortune by the throat. You must impose your will upon the chaos. And to do that, you must become cold, calculated, ruthless with yourself. You must kill the boy so the man can rise. You must kill the part of you that craves validation, the part of you that needs permission, the part of you that begs to be understood. That part of you is a weakness. It is a soft target. It is the entry point for manipulation. When you kill it, you become a fortress. You become a void. And a void cannot be attacked. You cannot punch mist. You cannot cut water. This transformation requires you to become your own parent, your own therapist, your own coach. You wake up and you look in the mirror and you say, "Get up, we have work to do." You do not negotiate. You do not ask how you feel. You command, and the body obeys. Over time, this split personality becomes one. The commander absorbs the weakling, and what remains is the sovereign, the man who needs nothing from anyone, the man who is whole. Law 7. When they return, keep the gates closed. If you follow this path, something will happen. You will succeed. The numbers will climb. The money will arrive. The body will transform. The confidence will radiate. And then they will come back. The friends who were too busy. The family who doubted. The investors who said no. They will return. And they will smile. And they will say the words that will make your blood boil. "We always believed in you. I am so proud of us." They will try to rewrite history. They will try to insert themselves into your narrative. They want to stand next to the trophy they never helped you lift. This is your final test. The old you, the one who craved support, will want to let them in. Will want to say, "See, they love me now." Do not do it. Machiavelli warned that men are ungrateful, fickle liars and deceivers. They flee from danger and are greedy for profit. When you are in need, they offer nothing. When you succeed, they offer everything. But their loyalty is conditional. It is transactional. It is based on your utility to them. And the moment your utility fades, they will abandon you again. You must handle this with cold grace. You do not need to be cruel. You do not need to make a scene. You simply maintain the distance. You treat them with the same polite indifference they treated you with when you were building. You become a wall of glass. They can see you, but they cannot touch you. The only people allowed inside the castle are the ones who helped you carry the stones. And since you carried them alone, the castle belongs to you alone. This is not bitterness. This is sovereignty. This is the recognition that your empire is sacred, and only those who bled with you in the dark deserve to feast with you in the light. Everyone else can watch from outside the gate. Listen to me. You are standing at a crossroads. One path leads back to the herd, back to the warmth of mediocrity, back to the comfort of depending on others. It is the easy path, the safe path, the path that leads to a life of quiet regret. The other path leads into the darkness, into isolation, into the void. It is cold, it is lonely, it is terrifying, but it is the only path that leads to sovereignty. Most people will turn away. They will say, "I need people, I am not like you." And they are right. They are not like you. They are the sheep. They are the background characters. They are the fuel that powers the machine. But you are different. You are still here. You are still listening, which means some part of you recognizes the truth. No one is coming, and that is not a tragedy. It is a baptism. When you accept the void, you become the void. You become the silence that others fear. You become the force that cannot be stopped, because there is nothing to grab onto, nothing to threaten, nothing to take. You own nothing, which means you own everything. You need nothing, which means you command everything. You are the ghost, the phantom, the architect who builds in the shadows and rules in the light. So make the choice. If you are ready to leave the flock to walk into the dark alone to build an empire with your own hands, then you know what to do. Subscribe. Not because I asked you to, but because you are making a contract with yourself. You are signaling to the universe that you refuse to be average, that you refuse to wait for permission, that you refuse to be saved. And if you want to go deeper, if you want the uncensored psychology that I cannot share publicly, if you want access to the techniques that the algorithm suppresses, then click the join button. Step into the architect level. Most will not. Most are too afraid. Most are still waiting for someone to hold their hand. But you are not most. You are the outlier. You are the one who walks alone. And that is exactly what makes you dangerous. Welcome to the void. Let's build.